Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you are worried about that whether you will be able to finish your exam in 3 hours or not, and if you are worried about it that whether you will miss out some question or not, then I'm going to talk about something in this video which could be very useful for you, and especially when you have very few time left for exam. This thing will remain in your mind till the exam time, and probably this could be a game changer for your exam. Okay, so a lot many of the students who have given CSIR NET exam, they might agree on this that in many cases students are not even able to see the entire question paper, and when they come out of exam center they see, or they when they discuss it, they get to know, oh, this question was so easy in part C, I could have done this instead of some other question. Now technically what happens that the system blocks you from attempting more than a required number of question in a particular part. For example, if I have to explain you, so in part C, there are total 60 questions, but you only are allowed to do 25 questions, right? Let's say you started looking upon questions from question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and you started marking the answers which you know, which you think that they are right. You mark that answer, you went to the next question. So the system will register it as your marked answer. And let's say upon reaching question number 40 of part C, you have already marked 25 questions. Okay, you have chosen your 25 questions, but now question number 41, when you went to question number 41, you see that question is pretty easy, and you know that answer more confidently than some other answer before, which you have marked before, which you might have guessed before. So in that case, if you try to mark that 41st question, the system will not allow you to do that. And a lot of students panic in that case because they are not aware about how this works. You should be aware about it. Okay. So when you try to mark that question, system thinks that you are marking 26th question in part C, okay, which is not allowed. So it will ask you to unmark some other question among the previous 25 which you have marked, unmark any one of them, and then only you can mark it. And in this panic, a lot of students, like in this case, a lot of students gets panic about it, and they generally lose it, or they generally don't do anything. Okay, they just leave the remaining questions. They don't even see those questions, and this is a very big setback, because it might happen that some question out of those 25 you have just had 30-40% or 60% guess upon an option that yes, this option is right, but in the next coming questions there were few easy questions which you were more confident upon. So technically what I'm trying to say is that it might happen that you have not chosen your best 25 when you have even not looked the whole 60 question. And this is not only in part C, but it happens in part A also, because there are 20 questions, you have to do 15. In part B, there are 40 questions, you have to do 35, right? So this is a method in which you can actually give all the best questions from your side, like the best 25 from your side in part C, best 35 from your side in part B, and best 15 from your side in part A. And in this way, one more thing will be there is that you will be able to utilize your 3 hours very efficiently. You won't be panicking about the things. You will be able to know the whole entire question paper, what types of question are asked. All these things will be taken care if you try to apply this technique while solving question or while you are attempting the paper. Okay, so I call this two-round method technique. In this method, what I suggest to student is that it depends on you. It could be your strategy that you want to start with part A, or if you want to start with part C, or you want to start with part B. This is totally up to you. I'm not suggesting you to start with any part. Okay, but whatever part you start, let's say you started from part C, you got the question paper, your timer has just started, you started your part C. So instead of starting and marking question and trying to solve one question at a time, do one thing. Give 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of yours in part C to look upon all the questions. Okay, just go through the questions. That's it. I'm not asking you to solve them. Just see the question. Just read the question, see the options. You will get to know that from which topic this question is. Let's say the first question came from bioinorganic. You got to know, okay, this is a bioinorganic question. Let me see it later. And if bioinorganic is something which you have studied, or while reading the question, you have this in mind that you know the answer of that, mark it for review. Okay, don't mark it as an answer, but just mark it for review. Okay, mark it for review is not going to mark that as the answer. Okay, because you're not marking any option there, you just are flagging that question. Either you will get an option of flag in CSIR net, or you will get an option for mark it for review. Okay, these could be two interfaces which CSIR actually plays with. So it could be any one of them. If it is to flag, just flag that question, but don't mark the answer. Okay, go to the next question, read that question. Let's say the next question is from coordination chemistry. You know the answer again, mark it again. Okay, go to the next question. The next question came from, let's say, certain concept. Let's say it came from main group element and you don't know about main group element, or you have not studied main group element, or that question you are not sure about. Leave that question, don't mark it. Okay, go to the next question. In this way, what you will do is you will be able to go through the whole 60 questions one by one without answering or without wasting your time in solving those questions. But here you are actually looking upon those 60 questions and you will have an entire picture in front of you that, okay, these 60 questions are asked, some questions are asked from this part. These are my, like, you have already marked them. So you know that out of 60, how many questions you know, or how many questions you have studied, or you have an idea to do them. Now go to those questions which you have marked. You can go and solve them. This will relax you. This will not unnecessarily give you a lot of panic. And this will also not let you miss out any question. Because now let's say you have marked 30 or 35 questions out of 60. You can choose among them. Okay, it is not going to be so, because now you know already that, okay, if let's say you are solving question number 3 of part C, which is from, let's say it is from quantum chemistry, and you thought you marked it and you thought that you will be able to answer it, but while solving you are not getting the answer. You will not panic, because you have some backup question, you have some other question which you already are aware that, yes, that also I know. Okay, so you can go to that and solve it. So although it looks like it is going to take a lot of your time, but it is not. Okay, just give 15 minutes to read that 60 question. Like, it is not going to take much time. 15 to 20 minutes are enough to, like, go through the entire 60 question section of part C. If it takes little bit more time also, that is also fine, because you are actually like, trying to give or trying to have all the picture in front of you, and you are making yourself confident enough and comfortable enough to attempt 25 questions in part C. And if you will be a confident, like, you can apply the same thing in part B and part A, but I would say it is more effective for part C, because you have a lot of questions there and you have to choose like almost 30% of the questions, right? You have 60 questions, like less than 30, less, like almost like 40% of the question of part C. You have 60 questions and you have to choose 25, which is like almost 40%, right? So you have a big number of choice over there. In part B and part A, you don't have that much choice, because out of 40 you have to do 35. In part A, out of 20 you have to do 15. So you can avoid doing like this for part B or part A. But for part C, definitely this is the way which is going to give you a lot of confidence. This is going to give you an idea how to finish the question paper, and this will also let you finish everything within time. Okay, so all these things, like time management, panicking, like, which students generally get panicked about, and then missing out question, like when they come out of the exam center, when they discuss with their friends, somebody says, oh, there was a very easy question at the end of the question paper which was just on the weights rule, you just apply it and you get the answer. And you were like, oh, I was not even able to reach that question because I was struggling with the initial questions and I missed, like, the time was not enough to reach out to the last question, and I could not even see that question, which was pretty easy. That could have been, a game changer for you to qualify exam. So this technique has been used earlier by many students, and a lot of them have commented earlier on my videos that yes, this has made a lot of difference when they were sitting in the exam, when they have given the exam in this way, right? So I hope that this is going to be equally effective for you also. If you have watched this video, try to apply it in exam. Okay, look upon it, see it, how to do that. And one more very important thing, that whenever you are sitting in exam, whenever you are attempting the exam, this is a very, very, very important tip, that don't go for the minimum. Okay, don't think that, okay, the cutoff for general goes around 110 marks, so I will attempt the exam only for 110 marks. This is a trap in which every year many students get stuck in. Okay, if you will answer 110 marks, you will never get 110 marks, mark my word. You cannot be 100% accurate. If you will like attempt 110, if you are very good at studies, if your accuracy is very high, then also you will get 90 marks at max. Okay, not more than that. It will be very difficult to get like 100 or 110 if you have marked 110. Okay, it is always important to have some buffer marks or attempt higher than the target. If you think in your mind that the cutoff goes like 110 marks, attempt 150. Okay, So attempt 150, then only you will get some negative marks, some silly mistakes or something, that all will accumulate for the rest of the 40 buffer marks, and then you will reach near to the cutoff. Okay, this is very, very, very important point. Keep this in mind. Never attempt the minimum what you have in mind. Always attempt higher than the target which you have, okay, which you have set up. Depending upon, like, many people have this in mind, okay, I belong to a certain category, my cutoff goes around this, I will just attempt this much, and after the result comes, their score are below that. So this is a trap, or this is kind of thing where you will definitely fall, because as I said, nobody has 100% accuracy in the exam. You feel like every answer you are answering is right, but when you come out of the exam, when you match it with the answer key, when you match it with the reviews of people who post the answers and all, when you mark it or match it with you match it with that, you will get to see that, oh, I did a silly mistake. So mistakes can be done by anyone. Okay, this is unavoidable. Nobody has 100% accuracy. Keeping all that in mind, have a higher target set. Okay, so I think these two are very important things which I wanted to discuss before the exam comes in. You only have a day left for exam. All the best for that. Try to keep this thing in your mind when you're sitting for the exam. I will also come up with another video where I'll be talking about things you need to do on the day of exam, or things which you need to take care on the day of exam. So that's it from my side for this particular video. See you guys in the next one. All the best for the exam. Give your best, and I hope and pray the best for you all. Take care. Bye bye.